and more, I thought today I would show you how to make good old country fashion potato salad with a modern twist to it. So, if you're interested in that, come on and join me. See you soon. Okay guys, we have 2 cups of real Hellmann's mayonnaise. I have 2.5 cups of sugar. I have 1/4 cup of vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar or regular white vinegar. I have dill relish. If you don't like dill relish in your potato salad, omit this and do not put it in. I have 1/2 of a large green pepper. I have 5 hard-boiled eggs chopped up. And I have 2 small onions. Let me take this off so you can see it. Chopped up. I mixed red russet potatoes along with the yellow Yukon potatoes and boiled those until they were soft but not mush. And I've got them already cut up because that's how I boil them bite size and then run them under cold water a few times and just let them sit in the sink for about a ½ hour to cool off. And I'm going to get a big container that I'm going to be keeping the potato salad in. I have salt, pepper, yellow dry mustard powder. And the new twist on this is I use about 1.5 teaspoons to 2 teaspoons of this. I have never been a fan of potato salad. I've always loved macaroni salad, but I have not cared for potato salad until I put, a couple teaspoons of this at the very end after I've mixed everything else up. I also have celery right here. And you can sprinkle just a tad, don't go heavy on this, but just a little bit of cayenne pepper on the top when you're done mixing it. My little secret is I use ground white pepper. I use a little bit of the black pepper that you grind. And then, like I mentioned before, the ground mustard powder or the dry mustard. Or you could use Dijon mustard too if you prefer. Okay, so you have to taste the Hellmann's mayonnaise and the sugar to make sure that it's to your liking. I like it a little on the sweet side, so I added more sugar in here and mixed it all together with the vinegar right here until it's all creamy. Can you see that? It's all nice and creamy. So I'm going to mix everything. I'm going to put the eggs in here. Let me move this so that you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully you can see. I'm going to add 1/2 of this container of onion. I don't want it to be too prominent oniony tasting. I'm going to add all the celery. I'm going to add the little bit of green pepper that I have. Put these in the sink. Excuse me. Be right back. Okay. Now, I'm going to find a little itty bitty, if I have one in here, a little itty bitty spatula. And I'm going to add a good amount of pickle relish. Now, again, not everybody likes dill pickles. So if you don't care for dill pickles, leave this one out. You could use the jarred red peppers in here. So I'll put this in the fridge, and I'll grab the red peppers I'm talking about. Red bell pepper. And I'm going to chop some of them up. just to give it a little color. You could use pimentos if you prefer, if you're not a big fan of red or green pepper. Just to give it a little color, make it pretty. There we go, that should be enough just to add a little bit of color. Okay. Let's get this mixed up here if we can without making too big of a mess. You don't want to mush all your potatoes. So when you're stirring stuff up, try to be as gentle and roll stuff from the outside in. Hopefully you can see that. It's kind of difficult. You don't want to spill it all over the floor, but you don't want to turn your potatoes, your cubed potatoes, into mush. But I want to mix all these ingredients clear down to the bottom. See how pretty that's starting to look as I get it all mixed together, and you've got a little bit of red sprinkled through there. There we go. Okay. Now, I'm going to add, and I don't typically use a ton of measuring spoons. I just kind of eyeball it. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to show you here. That's about, let's see if I can point this down more. Let's see if this will work. I don't know. That's about how much mustard I sprinkled in this. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to mix that around in here. And I'm going to get the old-fashioned yellow mustard that you use on hot dogs, because I think that tastes good. Get it out of here, that is. And I'm not going to use a ton, I just want to use a little bit. It really brightens it up, makes it real yellowy. That's why I use a little bit of that. And I'll show you this. Do you see how yellow it got? That mustard really made it a beautiful yellow. See that? Okay, now comes the ground white pepper, and you got to be careful with this because this has got a kick to it. So I go real light on it. And I just do a few cranks of the black pepper. And here's the Tony Chancer's original Creole seasoning. This is what you're going to put a couple teaspoons of. So I put about that much in. That's it. That's for the whole thing. That's all I put in. And I put a little bit of cayenne, just a pinch. You'll see, just a pinch. Sprinkle that in there. That's it. Okay, we're going to mix that all together. So you can see this. I'm mixing this all together. And I'm going to taste it. Oh, that's good. That is delish. And I'm going to pour it all in here. We'll do half, a little more than half, see if that's enough. And we're going to use my big spatula to mix it all about. It takes patience to mix a big batch like this in a bowl so you don't end up with it all over the floor. And of course, you guys all know potato salad tastes better after it's been refrigerated after you've made it. All the flavors meld together in the refrigerator. It's like every time you go back and have leftovers, it just tastes better and better. Perfect. Just the right amount. Okay, let me grab a fork. Let me grab some of this and I'll take a bite of it. Oops, I didn't get any red. Let me get some red bell pepper. There we go. You see that? Alright, here we go. Mmm. Mmm. Hey guys, well, I'm getting out here finally because we have a break in the rain. And it's supposed to rain like every day after this, so I thought I better get my hiney out here and start giving you an update on the garden since it got flooded. I think the flooding is going to end up being a regular thing, unfortunately, with global warming and all the rain that we get here. I'm in the state of Iowa, the Midwest, in case anyone wasn't clear on that. So these are the herbs. The parsley, English thyme, which is right here. Tea herb, that one's not doing too great. These are garlic chives right here that look like grass. Dill, Greek oregano, more Greek oregano. I love Greek oregano. That looks like a sunflower to me, right here. I didn't plant that. Spearmint. These are herbs I planted, I believe. I don't know what they are. But I left them. These are garlics right here. My onions are doing great. All my onion starters. I got this bed right here weeded somewhat. The weeds are just rampant this year. And every time these beds get flooded, it just brings in more seeds of weeds and stuff from the fields. So, as you can see, this bed needs weeded still. I'll zoom in. See all the weeds in there? As compared to this one where you can see basically onions for the most part instead of weeds. These are my peppers. Jalapeno, habanero, poblano, green pepper, chilies, cayenne peppers, you name it. They're in this half of the bed. And in here are all my cauliflower, cabbages, celery, which is right over here. This is celery. They're getting huge. I'm so proud of them. I weeded that. We took the plastic off the hoop house right here and I weeded all in there and then we put the plastic back on. Here's my strawberries. I got some weeds in here that need pulled, such as these. This is not part of the strawberries. These are weeds. Right here. And like I said, the weeds are just absolutely rampant because of all the flooding that's gone on. They've just overtaken most of my beds. So I'm going to have to come out here and do weeding on them. More strawberries. These are all my different tomato plants. I didn't know if they were going to make it because these beds were flooded. But they're still with me. I don't know how great they're going to produce, but they're still with me. This bed I need to weed yet. I've got real tiny starter peppers. This bed's peppers. This bed's peppers. I got a ton of peppers this year. My goal, if they produce well, is I want to make my own cayenne pepper, my own chili pepper, things like that. Let's come on the outside of here. I got more pepper beds and weeds, which I still have to weed. I haven't been able to get to all of them. That's another reason, guys, why I'm not able to do videos every day or every other day. I'm usually out here. These are my carrots coming up. They usually take forever to pop through, but these beds got totally flooded and immersed in water. Let's see if I can zoom in. So these are carrots. These right here are beets. I didn't know if they were going to survive the flood, but they're still with me so far. Knock on wood. Okay, this bed needs to be thinned out, but it keeps raining. So until we get a few days where it's not raining where I can come out here. This is broccoli, this row, all the way down. And we've got Brussels sprouts. And these are radishes. I've already been pulling from these. See how big that is? Let's see if I can show you. See how big the radishes are? They're delicious. We have them in salads. I've already pulled from them a couple times. These are beets. These are parsnips. I've never grown parsnips before. They need to be thinned out. But I gotta have like 2 or 3 consecutive days where it doesn't rain so I can thin them out and put them in other beds. This is going to be red cabbage over here. That also needs thinned out, and I need to get hoop houses built after I get them all, you know, in other beds and spread out. Broccoli. So, they're doing good. I didn't think they'd make it. These beds right here on the outside, the far right of my garden, here's the entrance. Let me come around here. All these beds over here, this half of my garden, were submerged underwater and flooded inside also. So I didn't know if any of this stuff was going to survive. Here's the entrance. I have a cattle panel in a hoop. This is the entrance. And the exit also has the same thing, cattle panel hoop. My dry beans are coming up. I have to weed them though. Oh, here's some more cabbage and broccoli in this bed, and a huge onion. There's my lettuces. Yummy, yummy. Love salads. Again, my onions are doing great. And I couldn't remember what I planted over here, you guys, because I forgot to label it. Well, now I know. I got marigolds on this half, and these are spinach. I love spinach. Love spinach. So these are all spinaches. I could not remember for the life of me what I planted there. This half of the bed's been planted with zucchini, but I don't see any coming up since we were flooded. I don't see one popping through. These are my potatoes. Look how much they've grown since the last time I shot a video and showed you guys when they were poking through the dirt. Look at that. That is just, I hope you can see that. I'm in direct sun. Let me come over here and see if it helps. Is that better? They are booming. And I didn't think potatoes liked that much rain. But we have just been getting pounded with rain every day for like 7 to 9 days straight. Now this is full of weeds, so I have to weed this puppy, but all my dry beans are right here in the middle, underneath the cattle panel. These are red kidney beans. And then now we're moving over to this other half, and these are the black beans, the black dry beans, and they're coming up fantastic too. And lots of weeds. Oh, here's carrots. This here is a weed, right here. This is a weed. This are carrots. This, weed, 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 weed. These are carrots, and they're planted all the way down. Fully weeds with tomato plants in here. I got to get my fanny busy out here. Man, I wish it would just stop raining for 2 or 3 days. I have got to weed my tomato beds. I got this one partially weeded. I mean, you can still see I've got a lot of weeds to pull yet. But these are my tomato beds this year. This one, look how it's infested, just infested with weeds. I have got to have non-rain days. Okay, we got sugar snap peas right here and weeds. These right here are sugar snap peas underneath the trellis. And then we got king tut peas. They have the black peas that grow. And then we also have sugar snaps down here. Let me zoom in. These are peas underneath the cattle panel. Okay, now we're going to go toward the exit, where the exit cattle panel hoop is. Can you see that? And these are all flowers and like cilantro and things like that. Just kind of odds and ends. Flowers, roses. This bed over here is my raspberry. And I have no idea what this is, but it is growing like no tomorrow. And I don't even know what it is. And then we've got spearmint here. More flowers and roses. And then we have horseheal right here, this big green leafy plant. And we got blueberry bushes. So guys, that's the update on my garden so far. I pulled tons of asparagus from my asparagus beds, and not sure if my grapevines are going to survive the flood, because I don't think grapes really want that much water, and there's nothing I can really do about it. My grapevines are over here on this trellis thing. If you can see it, let me move over. Those right there. I don't know if they're going to make it. They look dead to me. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update. My garden for the most part is doing really good considering. So I'll see you next video, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.